And those are my thoughts on the death penalty. You know, that's a really well thought out, comprehensively researched argument. I never pinned you to be a guy who could speak so eloquently about such a complex issue. Good work. Well, thank you. Where's the car? You know what? I can't remember where we parked. So, is 5 times enough? Nope. I already have plans to see Baby Driver again tomorrow. Jesus, man, you are obsessed. You're damn right I'm obsessed. That's like every year there's one movie that I just can't shake. And this is it. If you had told me back at the beginning of the year that my favorite superhero movie of 2017 would be Baby Driver, I would have thought you were full of poo-poo. Superhero movie? Oh, this is a superhero movie, without question. Baby's got a superpower in his driving, a weakness in his tinnitus, an adversary in Buddy. He's taking care of his own Aunt May, he's falling in love with his own Mary Jane, and he even gets a job as a pizza delivery guy, Spidey. And this is more obvious, but I mean, everybody's got alter egos and secret identities. It's the best superhero movie I've seen in years. Yeah, but 5 viewings. How are you not getting tired of it by now? I don't know. I think it actually gets better every single time I see it. There's just so many little things to notice. Every time I see the opening credits sequence, I feel like I notice a new visual lyric I didn't see before or hear something mixing in with the music. And the remixing of dialogue, I keep realizing that things that are said toward the end were said at the beginning that I didn't catch before. It took me 2 viewings to catch the Monica moniker gag, and 3 viewings to realize that he uses his own pulse in place of music after Buddy shoots his iPod. I just love all the details. The movie is so dense, but that is to be expected from Edgar Wright. I love that your favorite Edgar Wright movie is the one that feels the least Edgar Wright-y. I mean, it's not quite as quick, it's not quite as funny, it's just not quite right, with a W. Just felt kinda, don't do it, don't you do it, felt kinda Edgar wrong. I'm just saying, I'm used to his movies being a lot wittier and a lot faster paced. I thought this was some of Edgar Wright's wittiest dialogue yet. The whole movie is super quotable. Still got a hum in the drum. You don't need a score for a score. I don't squeal to the cops, I squeal on the road. Yeah, I remember these lines. All these lines have been just racing around my head 24/7. I mean, it's less about the script and more about the execution. I think there were a lot of spots where you could trim stuff down. So it was a little more subdued than his other films. Didn't bother me at all. In fact, the quieter moments are some of my favorite parts of the movie. It's like there's just as much being said when nothing is being said. And I mean, I guess that's due mostly to the music, but it's definitely also due in part to the chemistry between the actors. I thought everybody was on fire. I gotta give credit to Ansel Elgort. Have we seen him in anything before? I don't think so, but I definitely know the name. I think I always just assumed he was like a poor man's Miles Teller. Yeah, all I know is that he really impressed me here, so I will definitely pay more attention to him in the future. Lily James was adorable, Kevin Spacey was great, as usual, and as much as I thought all the other team members were great as well, I think Jamie Foxx was the coolest. He was so into it. I just wish his character was a little more consistent. I mean, one of Bat's main character traits is that he hates Baby listening to music, and then he specifically asks Baby to pick a funky track for the arms deal. But I mean, beyond that, the whole butcher scene, you know, what about it? Well, remember how I said there are some parts you could probably trim down? What? That scene was so tight, what could you possibly trim? Oh no, I wouldn't trim down the scene. God, I'd cut it completely. What? That's like one of the best scenes in the whole movie. Paul Williams, tequila, the gunfire in sync with the music. There are plenty of other instances of musical gunfire throughout the movie, especially after the post office heist goes wrong. I don't know, I'm just saying, like, it seems the movie is moving along a straight path and then it deviates for the butcher scene. And it comes right back in, and it feels like if you took the butcher scene out of the movie, I don't know, I just don't see how it would change much. Meanwhile, that's, to me, the most Edgar Wright scene in the movie. Yeah, it does seem like Edgar needed that scene to be in the movie, but couldn't really find where to put it. Look, if you need to keep that scene, maybe cut 2 of the 3 endings. Speaking of the ending, one of my favorite parts of the whole movie is when they're listening to his mother's rendition of Easy Like Sunday Morning. It's so beautiful. Should have ended there. Oh, but I like when they're testifying about him not being a bad guy. All right, then maybe it says the end as they're about to get to the bridge, and all the rest of the moments in the movie play as, like, epilogue through the credits. I don't know. I'm just saying the movie could have been shorter, or at least trim down some parts to beef up other parts that needed more time. Wait, Now you want to add stuff to the movie? Yeah, I could have used a little more backstory from Doc to accept him not only helping Baby at the end, but dying for him. Oh, I actually got all I needed from him saying I was in love once in the elevator. That's all I needed to know. But there were opportunities to give us just a little bit more, be it having Doc say more times throughout the movie, I was in love once, or maybe explaining a little bit more about his past love, or even, perhaps, he feels like a weird father figure to Baby. I don't know, I'm just making stuff up now. But my point is, you could have squeezed any of that in when he's talking to Bats about the Spirit of 85, or talking to Baby outside the restaurant. Lots of opportunities for beefing up Baby. And speaking of beefing up, Baby, I actually think that another part they could have beefed up was some of the, music. Are you shitting me? You are not about to tell me that you didn't think there was enough music in Baby Driver. The music is the main character. But there were a few moments where that main character got its toes stepped on. More than once, a song would start and you think, oh, this is gonna be awesome, and then it gets cut off way too early. I'm looking at you, Run the Jewels! Run the Jewels? Run the Jewels? Run the Jewels? Yeah, I think you're getting a little too hung up on the details. I thought you loved the details. You know the cliche of film students idolizing and emulating Quentin Tarantino? Yeah. I think Baby Driver officially solidified Edgar Wright as the next filmmaking idol for the incoming generation of filmmakers. He's gonna inspire a lot of kids to pick up a camera. Well, I'd say we, ran out of parking spots. Wait a sec. We live in Manhattan, and we don't own a car. Right. What's this? Whose are these? Oh.